We were three inseparable friends who never spent a moment apart. Wherever we went together. Our friendship was unbreakable. We attended the same school, spent all our time together both during and after school. But when I reached 8th grade, I had to move to a new house. The new house was still in the same village, but a little farther from my old one. The new house was surrounded by many trees, with no other houses or shops nearby. Only a road passed in front of it. Despite this, I didn't feel scared at all. The environment was very peaceful, and everything seemed perfect. The distance between my new house and my friends' houses was about 2 kilometers, which wasn't too far. My friends often came to my place, and we would have a great time together. We studied, played, and enjoyed each other's company. We had known each other since childhood and frequently visited each other's homes, which led to strong bonds between our families as well. At my new house, I lived with my mom, dad, older sister, and younger brother. There were 5 of us living there. Soon after moving in, we began to hear strange rumors about the house. My room had a window that overlooked an old oak tree. The rumor was related to that tree. It had no leaves, looking barren and eerie. This odd sight was unsettling to me and my family, but we didn't pay much attention to it and decided to carry on with our lives. A few days passed, and my friends started visiting my new house. Adam, one of my friends, was very intelligent but introverted. He didn't like meeting new people and didn't believe in ghosts or supernatural things. He often made fun of such beliefs. On the other hand, Bobby, my other friend, was very fearful and believed strongly in negative energies and paranormal activities. He got scared very easily. Unlike Bobby, Adam and I didn't believe in ghosts. I was an extrovert and loved meeting new people, but ghosts and supernatural stuff seemed like nonsense to me. When we moved into the new house, we had a housewarming ceremony. Though there were no neighbors nearby, people from the slightly distant houses attended the ceremony. Among the attendees were some elderly people who started discussing various topics. One topic that came up was the eerie oak tree. The elders shared that a few years ago, a girl had committed suicide by hanging herself from the tree. She was pregnant at the time, and no one knew why she took such a drastic step. A week or 2 after her death, her husband also died under mysterious circumstances. Since that tragic event, strange things were said to happen around the tree. Though there was no solid proof, many claimed to have seen a girl or something hanging from the tree. These rumors led the elderly people to advise everyone to stay away from the tree. I heard all these things too, but I told my family, these are just baseless rumors. If you let these thoughts occupy your mind, you'll start imagining things. It's all in your head. Please don't listen to or discuss these things too much. Just ignore them and nothing will happen. For 6 months, everything was normal and peaceful. Our house had 3 rooms. I stayed in one, my sister in another, and my parents and sometimes my younger brother in the 3rd room. One night, my dad had some office work, so he told us to sleep in the other rooms because he would be working late. My mom came to sleep in my room, and my brother went to sleep with my sister. My dad stayed alone in his room working. In the middle of the night, my mom suddenly woke up with a start. She quickly woke me up and moved me to my sister's room. I had no idea what had happened until the next morning. When I woke up, I found myself in my sister's room. Confused, I asked my mom, "Mom, why am I here? I was sleeping in my room last night." My mom looked pale and scared. She explained, "Last night, I had a very strange and terrifying dream. I saw someone standing at the window looking in. Even though our room is on the upper floor, it was as if someone was peering through the window. As I tried to see more clearly, this figure suddenly rushed towards me and started choking me. Couldn't breathe. I woke up feeling terrified and with a very negative vibe. When I looked out the window, I saw the tree and felt a chill. I was so scared that I quickly moved you to your sister's room." As my mom narrated this, she was visibly shaken and sweating. Trying to calm her down, I said, "Mom, it was just a dream. Those old people told you these stories, and they stuck in your mind. Don't worry, it was just a nightmare. Please don't stress about it." I managed to reassure my mom, and the conversation ended there. The next morning, I got ready for school and went to meet my friends. Bobby and Adam. I told them the whole incident. Bobby was visibly scared and said, "This is really creepy. I think you should cut down that tree. There's definitely something wrong with it." Adam and I couldn't help but laugh at Bobby's fear. "Come on, Bobby, you're just letting those stories get to you. There's nothing there," we said, trying to lighten the mood. We spent the rest of the day as usual, but the incident stayed in our minds. A month passed, and another incident occurred with me. One evening, around 9 p.m., I was out walking my dog. While walking, I received a call from a friend. Engrossed in the conversation, I kept walking, unaware of my surroundings. I followed my dog as it wandered, chatting away with my friends. Time flew by, and after an hour, I finally realized it was 10 p.m. I said, "All right, guys, it's getting late. I need to head home." As I ended the call, I noticed that I had wandered all the way to the oak tree. This was the first time I found myself standing directly in front of it. From my window, the tree always seemed smaller, but now, standing right before it, it looked enormous. I examined the oak tree closely and said to myself, "It's late. I should head home." I tugged at my dog's leash, but he wouldn't budge. He was staring intently at the tree, trembling with fear. No matter how hard I tried, he refused to move. Eventually, I gave a strong pull and managed to get him to turn around and walk. As we headed home, I suddenly felt a cold gust of wind. It was odd, considering it was summer. I tried to brush it off, thinking the temperature might have dropped among the trees. However, I couldn't shake the feeling that someone was following me. I stopped, ready to turn around, when I felt a push on my shoulder, causing me to fall. I quickly turned to see who it was, but no one was there. Seeing this, I felt a surge of fear. My dog started barking frantically at something behind us, shaking uncontrollably. I had never seen him behave like this before. Scared and confused, I picked up my dog and ran as fast as I could towards home. Without looking back, I ran until I reached my house, slamming the door behind me. Breathless and terrified, I decided not to tell anyone about the incident. I went straight to my room, closed the window tightly, drew the curtains, and huddled under the covers, trying to calm my racing heart. I kept telling myself, "Don't think about it. Just don't think about it." I kept trying to sleep, but my mind was racing. If you've ever felt a sudden push from behind and turned to see no one, you can imagine how I felt that night. Finally, morning arrived, and I woke up feeling incredibly cold and unwell. I was so sick that I couldn't move for 3 days. During this time, my friends Bobby and Adam came to visit, but I didn't tell them anything about what had happened or what was on my mind. After 3 days, once I felt better, I returned to school. I told Bobby and Adam everything that had happened that night. I started to think that maybe there was indeed something strange about the tree, and that I shouldn't have gone near it. These thoughts kept swirling in my head. Bobby, concerned and a bit irritated, said, "See, I told you there was something wrong. You shouldn't have messed around with it. I warned you, but you didn't listen." Adam tried to calm him down, saying, "Relax, Bobby. There's nothing to worry about. It's just that these thoughts were planted in our heads by those rumors, and they made you imagine things. Paul, don't overthink it. It's all in your mind." But I couldn't agree with Adam. I said, "No, Adam, you don't understand. I used to think the same way as you. If someone else had told me this, I would have said the same thing. But now that it's happened to me, I know these things actually exist, and we shouldn't mess with them." The conversation ended as recess was over, and we returned to class. In the last period, our teacher announced a 7-day holiday, which made everyone happy. She encouraged us to use the time wisely by forming groups and choosing a topic for a project to research and present after the break. Of course, Bobby, Adam, and I formed a group and selected a project topic. We decided that Bobby and Adam would stay at my house during the holidays so we could work on the project and have fun together. The next day, they both came to my house, and we spent our time working on the project, having fun, and even joining swimming classes. On the first or second day of the swimming class, our coach, a female instructor, asked us, "I've heard some rumors about a tree near your house. Is it true that people have seen strange things there? Is there something haunted about it?" Hearing this shocked me, It felt like I couldn't escape this topic no matter where I went. As soon as she mentioned it, all the memories of that night came flooding back. Until a few days ago, I would have laughed and dismissed such questions. But now, deeply affected by the incident, I said, yes, it seems like there is something there because of what happened to me. Hearing this, Bobby became even more anxious, realizing that there were more details to the story than he knew about. He hadn't known about the girl who committed suicide and her husband's subsequent death. We hadn't told Bobby about the details before, but now that he knew, he was even more scared. Adam, on the other hand, was growing increasingly frustrated with the constant questions and rumors. Determined to uncover the truth, Adam declared, I need to see this for myself. We should go check it out. Everyone's talking about it, and I want to see what's really there. Hearing this, I responded, are you crazy, Adam? We're not going there. Bobby and I want nothing to do with it. Bobby echoed my sentiments. If you guys are really planning to go there, I'm out. I'm not staying with you. Adam insisted. We have 4 days left to complete the project. We can finish it in 2 days and then we'll have time to check it out. Come on, let's just see what's there once and for all. Despite my attempts to dissuade him, Adam was adamant. Eventually, I relented. Fine, if you really want to go, we'll go. But it's a bad idea. Bobby was still hesitant. I'm not coming. If you guys want to go, go ahead, but count me out. Adam and I managed to persuade Bobby, using our friendship as leverage. Come on, Bobby, we're friends. You can't let us go alone. Reluctantly, Bobby agreed, and we told our families we were going for a walk as night approached. We made our way to the oak tree. Everything seemed normal, and Adam remarked, where's all the spooky stuff you guys talked about? There's nothing here, just a regular tree. I had to admit, you're right, Adam. It feels pretty normal here. Bobby, however, was still anxious. Okay, you've seen it. Now let's go quickly. I don't want to stay here. We spent barely 10 minutes there before heading back. Adam kept insisting, see, there was nothing here. You guys just let your imaginations run wild and spread silly rumors. I started to think that maybe Adam was right and that I had let my mind play tricks on me. We laughed it off and returned home. It was getting late, so we played some games and eventually went to sleep around 11 or 12 p.m. We all slept in my room. Around 2:30 a.m., I woke up feeling very cold. Confused, I looked at the fan, but it was off. Then I noticed that the window was open. I got up to close it and glanced at the tree. To my horror, I saw a girl standing under the tree, staring directly at me. It was just a shadowy figure, but I could clearly see it was a girl, and she was looking right at me. Terrified, I screamed loudly, waking everyone up, my friends, parents, and sister. They all rushed to my side, asking what had happened. Bobby, who had woken up first, was already scared and refused to sleep in the room any longer. He said, I'm sleeping in the living room. I'm not staying here. Adam, on the other hand, laughed it off. Are you crazy? We were just there. You're just scaring yourself. Adam kept trying to convince me that it was just my imagination and that I shouldn't think too much about it. When I had screamed, my family rushed in, asking what had happened. I tried to explain, but Adam interrupted. Don't worry, Auntie. Paul just had a bad dream and got scared. There's nothing to be concerned about. We'll just go back to sleep. My mom offered, if you want to sleep in the living room, go ahead. If you feel more comfortable there, that's fine. Adam reassured her, no, it's okay. We'll stay here. There's no problem. With that, my parents left, and we decided not to discuss the incident any further. Adam and Bobby soon fell asleep, but I couldn't. I pulled the covers over myself, but my mind kept replaying what I had seen. Morning arrived, and I was the first to wake up. I noticed that both Adam and Bobby were still asleep. As I glanced around, I saw that the window was open again. I distinctly remembered closing it the night before. I woke Adam and asked, how is the window open? I shut it last night. Adam groggily replied, I felt hot last night, so I opened it. It's nothing. I was irritated. Why did you open the window? You should have turned on the fan instead." Our argument was interrupted by my mom calling us for breakfast. We went to the kitchen to eat. While we were eating, Bobby received a call from his parents, informing him that they had to go out of state for some urgent work and would be coming to pick him up. Bobby told us, and we agreed it was fine since our project was almost complete. With nothing much left to do, Bobby waited for his parents to arrive while Adam said, "I'm going to take a shower." He went to the bathroom, which also had a window overlooking the oak tree. As I was walking past the bathroom, I heard Adam talking to someone. Curious, I tried to listen but couldn't hear the other person's voice. I checked and saw that his phone was outside the bathroom. I was puzzled about who Adam could be talking to, but I decided not to ask him in front of Bobby, knowing it would scare him even more. When Adam came out of the bathroom a little while later, I said, "Bobby's parents are coming to pick him up. Let's help him pack." Adam's response was unusually curt. "Yeah, okay." His rudeness seemed odd to me, but I brushed it off. We helped Bobby pack, and soon enough, his parents arrived to take him. After dropping Bobby off with his parents, we returned home to find lunch ready. My mom called us for lunch, and Adam started eating very quickly, much more than he usually did. Normally, Adam was a slow and moderate eater, but now he was eating in a rushed and strange manner. I found it odd, but didn't say anything. Typically, we would go to our swimming classes in the morning, but due to the events of the previous night, none of us had woken up early. We decided to go in the evening instead. Around 5 or 6 p.m., Adam and I headed to our swimming class. On the way, I asked Adam, "Who were you talking to in the bathroom earlier?" Adam seemed confused. "Talking to? What are you talking about?" I pressed on. "I heard you talking to someone. Your voice was clear, but I couldn't hear the other person." Adam snapped, "Are you crazy? Who would I talk to? There's no one else there. Stop talking nonsense." He walked ahead, leaving me puzzled. Arriving at the swimming class, Adam suddenly said, "I don't feel like swimming today. You go ahead. I'll watch." This was unusual because the idea of joining swimming classes was Adam's, and he was always the most excited about it. His sudden change in behavior was concerning. I tried to persuade him, "Come on, Adam. Let's swim together." "I don't want to swim alone." Adam pulled his hand away from mine and retorted rudely, "I said I'm not coming. You go if you want, but leave me alone." Feeling awkward, I decided to swim alone while Adam sat on the sidelines. After about an hour, our coach approached me, asking, "What's wrong with Adam today? He's not swimming and seems very off." I replied, "I don't know. He suddenly lost interest and is behaving strangely." The coach added, "I've noticed him staring at his phone for an hour. When I checked, the phone was off. The screen was blank." Hearing this, I became even more concerned. I went over and saw that Adam was indeed staring at a blank phone screen. This was very unsettling. I said, "Adam, let's go home." Adam agreed, packed his bag, and we walked home in silence. This awkwardness between us was unprecedented. On the way, Adam suddenly said, "I want to go home tomorrow." I asked, "What's wrong? Are you mad at me? If something's bothering you, tell me." Adam replied, "No, nothing like that. I just want to go home." I said, "Okay, you can go tomorrow, but let's go to my house first." Adam insisted, "No, I want to go home now." I finally agreed, "All right, let's go to my house first, and then you can leave." We reached home, and Adam immediately went to the room and started packing. My mom noticed and asked me, "What's going on? Why is Adam packing? Did you guys have a fight?" I replied, "I have no idea what's happening with him." My mom suggested, "Adam, why don't you stay tonight? It's already evening. You can leave tomorrow, and I'll take you myself." Adam stopped packing and said, "Okay, Auntie, I'll leave tomorrow." As soon as I came out of the room, my mom pulled me aside and asked, "What's going on between you and Adam? Why is he behaving so strangely all of a sudden?" At first, I tried to brush it off. "It's nothing, Mom." But fear had taken hold of me, so I decided to tell her everything. I explained how I had taken the dog for a walk and felt a push from behind, and then the incidents that followed with Adam and Bobby at the oak tree. My mom listened intently, growing increasingly angry. She scolded me severely. "You should have told us this earlier. I'll call the church father tomorrow morning and also inform Adam's parents." Just then, we heard a noise from inside the room. Adam had locked himself in. I rushed to the door, shouting, "Adam, open the door. Open up." I could hear him talking to someone, just like he had in the bathroom. I kept banging on the door. "Open up. Open up." My mom and sister joined me, trying to get Adam to open the door, but there was no response. Finally, my sister shouted loudly, "Open the door, Adam." Suddenly, the door opened. We rushed in and saw Adam standing by the window, staring at the tree with an eerie, evil smile on his face. We were stunned. How did the door open if Adam was standing there? We ran to him, shaking him. He seemed to snap out of a trance. "What's going on? What are you doing?" We replied, "That's what we should be asking you. What are you doing here?" Adam looked confused. "I don't understand what you're saying. Why would I lock the door?" My sister explained, "You locked the door, and we've been shouting and banging for you to open it, but you didn't respond." Adam seemed genuinely bewildered. "Why would I lock the door? I don't remember doing that." Trying to calm everyone down, my mom said, "Maybe you locked it by accident and didn't hear us. We got worried. It's okay now. Just relax and sit down." She then took me aside and said, "Stay with him quietly and don't talk about any of this until the church father arrives tomorrow." I nodded in agreement, understanding her concern. Adam seemed to return to his normal self, no longer rude or distant. That night, as I was falling asleep, I suddenly felt a presence near me and heard someone whispering. Turning quickly, I saw Adam sitting up, crying. Startled, I jumped out of bed and ran outside. My family rushed in, asking, "What happened?" I tried to explain that Adam was crying and acting strangely again. To our shock, we saw Adam lying there, still unconscious but breathing normally. I got up and asked, "Did the church father fix everything?" My sister replied, "Yes, it was a long process, about half an hour, but everything is fine now. Adam is back to normal, and his parents are on their way." I asked, "Where is the church father now?" She pointed out the window. "He's by the tree, performing some final rituals." I looked out and saw the church father tying threads around the tree and conducting a ceremony. After completing the rituals, the church father advised, "It's best to remove this tree for everyone's safety." That same day, the villagers gathered and cut down the tree. The church father explained, "The spirit of the girl who committed suicide was seeking revenge. When someone commits suicide, their soul often doesn't find peace. The reasons behind the suicide force the person to take their own life, and this unrest keeps their spirit wandering. But now I've set things right. Don't worry, the spirit is gone. Just remove the tree, and everything will be fine." The villagers followed his advice and removed the tree. During this time, Adam's parents arrived. They weren't too angry with me, but advised, "You shouldn't go to places where you're warned not to. Always listen to us adults. We have more experience. These things aren't always about proof. If we tell you something, it's because we've seen or experienced it ourselves." Thank you for watching the video till end. If you enjoyed this true terrifying incident, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more spine-chilling stories. Let us know if you want to share your own story. And remember, the veil between our world and the unknown is thin, so stay vigilant. Until next time, keep your lights on and your fears close, for the shadows are never far away.